Now I will talk about who owns Ferrero Rocher and where are the chocolates made. Giuseppe D'Angelo is the founder, executive vice president of Ferrero Anglo-American and CEE said that the Ferrero Group deals hope that designates the company that produces from scratch the best the chocolates in the world. Now reaches a turnover of 2 billion euros because it has 20 plants in different parts of the world and more than 22,000 employees. Worldwide it has 41 squares and corporate office. The Ferrero Group is the fourth confectionery company in the world, which was founded in 46 in Alba, Piedmont, in the north Italy by the brothers Pietro and Giovanni Ferrero. It has a presence in the 5 continents of the world, in more than 100 countries. Currently, the Ferrero Group belongs to Giovanni Ferrero, who was born in September 1964 in Fagigliano, Italy, and is a direct descendant of Michael Ferrero, who was in charge of the company until his death. To their great success, chocolates are manufactured in countries such as Italy, country of origin, Australia, Czech Republic, Belgium, Spain, Germany, Croatia, France, Portugal, Poland, Argentina, Colombia, Brasil, Ecuador, Chile y México.
The history of Ferrero Rocher. One of the Ferrero Group's most emblematic brands was created in 1982 in Alba, a small town in the hills of Piedmont, Italy. The motivation was the desire to make the pleasure of sophisticated chocolate specialty accessible to a much wider public. Ferrero Rocher was initially sold online in Europe, but soon became the favorite chocolate box of millions of people around the world. Today, it is the world leader in its category and it's sold in 100 countries on 5 continents. 1982. Launched in Europe. Ferrero Rocher is launched in several European countries, a true symbol of Ferrero excellence thanks to its high quality ingredients and characteristic golden presentation. 1983. The first TV commercial. Ferrero Rocher's first unforgettable TV commercial. It soon became an emblematic piece of advertising. It portrays the arrival of Ferrero Rocher by word of mouth, a novelty that will be on everyone's lips. And so it was. 1988. Launched in the USA. Ferrero Rocher is launched in the United States. Over the following years, the brand becomes one of the leading brands in the premium chocolate category. 1994. Launched in China. Ferrero Rocher is sold in China and builds a national reputation as a pioneer in the premium chocolate category. 1996. Launched in Russia. After expanding in the United States and China, Ferrero Rocher is sold for the first time in Russia. 2014. Grand Ferrero Rocher. A special Ferrero Rocher treat launched a delicious layer of exquisite milk, chocolate and selected hazelnut base wrapped in golden paper. The perfect gift to share. 2021. The new Ferrero Rocher tablet, a surprising pleasure from Ferrero Rocher to bring you another dimension of delicious texture and flavors. 2021. Ferrero Rocher ice cream. Ferrero Rocher is combined with ice cream and becomes Ferrero Rocher ice cream. A surprising pleasure.
Effects of the economy and the organism. Economy. The National Administrative Department of Statistics indicate that the chocolate industries contribute 1 trillion to national production, which represents 20% of the gross domestic product of the food during 2022. Health. Increases antioxidant activity. Science. Flavonoids can protect tissues from oxidative stress that is prevents premature aging of cells, reduces bad cholesterol, reduces the risk of the cardiovascular disease and strokes, reduces fasting glucose, improves the metabolism of the intestinal flora, thus of the any negative of the consequences. The consequences can be obesity or overweight. That's why you have to maintain a controlled calorie diet.
It is said that master chocolater Michel Ferrero named it this way when he launched it on the market in 1982 to pay homage to the Rocher de Massaville Grotto, which marks the place where the Virgin Mary appeared to Saint Bernadette in Lourdes, France. In fact, it is said that the coating of the convent resembles the rock formation of the Grotto of Lourdes, a place that had a special meaning for Ferrero, who died on February 14, 2015, at the age of 89. And the fact is that Ferrero was always known for his great devotion to the Virgin, who's remembered that coinciding with the 40th anniversary of the founding of this company, he commented, "We want the success of Ferrero to Our Lady of Lourdes. Without her we can do very little." In addition, curious fact is that Ferrero Rocher has a market value of $30 billion. Ferrero Rocher controls 8% of the world chocolate market. Mars and Nestlé have tried to buy Ferrero Rocher several times. Since 2006, Ferrero Rocher has grown 45%, and China is the main consumer of Ferrero Rocher.
The manufacturing process that is carried out to make the delicious Ferrero Rocher chocolates in the company in Mexico is as follows. Number 1, cultivation and harvest. Cocoa and hazelnuts are ground in a strip that extends 10 degrees north and 10 degrees south in the Ecuador. And 70% of world production comes from West Africa, with the Ivory Coast and Ghana being the main cocoa producers. Also, Ecuador and Venezuela are among the most praised. In the cocoa producing regions, two harvests are made per year, since the pods ripen every 4 or 6 months. The farmer picks them from the tree, carefully selecting them by the stem. Number 2 is shelling. The ears are shelled, splitting in half with the help of a machete to extract the pulp and beans. Number 3 is the fermentation. Pulled and broad beans undergo a fermentation process in box or pass between banana leaves whose objective is to prevent the bean from germination, eliminate the viscous pulp, and start the development of aroma. This process lasts between 4 and 7 days. Number 4 is dry. Finally, it is exposed to the sun for drying, necessary to reduce the humidity of the bean to allow the conservation of its qualities. Number 5 is bagging and transportation. The cocoa beans fermented, dried and coated will be lost in bags to be transported to the Ferrero Rocher chocolate factories. Number 6 is shredding. Once the cocoa beans and hazelnuts arrive at the factory, they go through a cleaning process, and once cleaned, the beans are crushed, breaking into smaller pieces. In the hazelnut crushing process, it is first considered advisable to separate the hazelnuts according to size, since the wild fruit presents variation of some importance in terms of size, which make the following splitting stage difficult. The number 7 is roasting. Roasting is a delicate process that impacts the color, aroma, and flavor of the final product, since it is in this process that the cocoa bean develops more than 400 aromas. Temperature and toasting time are the key variables to control in order to obtain one flavor and another of chocolate. Achieving the exact roasting point is key to obtaining the best chocolate. The number 8 is grinding, and once toasted, the beans are ground again. The number 9 is milk treatment. The fresh milk we collect daily is mixed with sugar and concentrated before mixing it with the cocoa paste. It is in this process that the caramelized touch that characterizes their chocolates is developed and makes them unique. The number 10 is mixed. To make the chocolate, different ingredients are poured into a mixer depending on the type of chocolate to be produced, such as milk chocolate, white chocolate, or dark chocolate. The number 11 is refining. The texture of this mixture of ingredients is granular, so it is passed through machines with 5 rollers through which the mixture advances while the size of the particles decrease until a fine powder is obtained. It is as essential process as it gives the chocolate much of its fineness and quality. The number 12 is shell. During shelling, cocoa butter and lecithin are added to increase the fluidity of the mixture. It also incorporates a natural aroma of vanilla that will allow you to give the desired final flavor. In order for the mixture to reach all its fineness and softness and to finish developing all the aromas, the mixture will be kneaded for hours or even days. The number 13 is temperate. In the case of waiting to make chocolate with other ingredients, hazelnuts, almonds, biscuit, now is the time to incorporate them because this is the ideal moment in which the consistency allows use mix. And the number 14 is molding and packaging. Leslie, it is time to give the chocolate the desired shape by pouring into molds tablets, chocolates, and chocolate bars, which are then passed through a cooling tunnel. At the exit hour, chocolates are ready to be packaged and distributed. Always I control the temperature between 15 and 17 degrees to guarantee that they arrive the perfect conditions